And joining us now to discuss Charlie Kirk's legacy, his life and reactions across the U.S. is Rob Schneider, comedian, filmmaker, and host of the See What Happens podcast. So Rob, first of all, I'm a huge fan. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Don.
How are you doing today?
Good. It's an extremely difficult time in America, but I'm very buoyed by the love that is being poured out and what is a real energizing in what Charlie Kirk stood for, which was debate, discourse, and truthfully, like how exceptional the United States is. I mean, free speech was the foundation of all of our freedoms, and that's the fact that we can and should challenge each other's certainties, so that we could, get the best idea. That's what we need to continue to have an exceptional society, is to hear all ideas. And sometimes you're going to get stuck in a bad idea if you're not being challenged. And what's happened at universities all over the country is that they've been force-fed an ideology which is anti-American and against discourse, debate, and free speech. So it's seeing this as a watershed moment and a potential time for a re-energizing of what makes this country so special, and at how it is and will continue to be the beacon of freedom all over the world. And the cornerstone of that is free speech.
Yeah, and Charlie said it best: when the conversations stop, that's when the violence begins. How would you say, what is his impact his work has had on America?
Well, I mean, when you would go and when you could see online now the talks that Charlie had with students, some of the things, some of the thinking that the students had not been challenged. And they were basically, they're not at university now. They're not teaching people how to think critically or to think for themselves. They're just cranking out advocates for an ideology that is illiberal in nature and intolerant in its outcome. So some of these presuppositions that Charlie challenged them, and it's great to see that the kids answering that challenge and wanting to be the thousands of people that were energized. I mean, now it's millions of young minds that are energized to be challenged. And that's what you have. You have to have that vibrancy, and that vibrancy comes from debate. And in speech and in freedom, you don't get smooth from smooth, everybody agreeing with each other. Right. You get it from friction. And that friction is people disagreeing. And that debate and disagreement is what constitutes a vibrant society and a vibrant culture. And that's why the United States is and will continue to be such a creative center of the world, because it is, and business center of the world, because it is that exact friction that is the foundation for these incredible ideas. World, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Google, whether it's Elon Musk, it's the United States where these come from. They don't come from totalitarian countries. You won't see it come up in China because of the strict nature and control. So while that creates conflict, we need to make sure and do everything in our power to make it a nonviolent conflict. But let us continue to have that discourse and this debate so that the best ideas will continue to foster excellence and creativity.
Right, the freedom of speech in authoritarian countries like China, it's a privilege, but here in the United States, it is a right. Can you talk to us about the nature of these debates that you had with him on university campuses?
Well, there is a real problem with indoctrination. In other words, these kids are being, I don't like to use any other, this term, force-fed, but they're not being told to think, they're being told what to think. And some of these things that seem pretty basic, that there's a biological sex and that they're divided into female and male, and that is something that is in our bones. I mean, the fact that we have to have this discussion says that there has been some real, mind-numbingly dumb things taught to our kids. So that's just one aspect of it. But also the, how our republic was founded against tyranny, and that the Second Amendment is to protect against government tyranny, and that how that is being manipulated. I mean, that is that we have the Second Amendment to protect our First Amendment, and that is an important delineation that we have to always remember and make. So there is a human body. I mean, Charlie respected the dignity of every human being with love, with Christ's love, and more than anyone I've ever known, to be a true reflection of Christ's light and love. And that is our calling as Christians. And so he would lovingly debate people and remind them that the sanctity of human life and the beauty of it all, and that it's, seeing him talk about when, not as a fetus, you don't have a fetus shower.
You have a baby shower.
You have a baby shower. And I felt that he did it with love. And I felt that there was love back from those millions, or those thousands of kids when I would go to university with him. And I believe that there will be many, many Charlie Kirks now, millions, from kids who are moved and touched, and that will stand up. But he is irreplaceable. It was this summer that I realized he was a true, authentic American genius. And it really, I remember he had the intellect and the love of country. And that's something that that's what's being the dogma of some of these universities, is that they don't really teach or respect how unique and exceptional this country is. How in world history, in human history, that the United States, as the freedom that we are endowed with by our Creator, it was fought for with blood, and that this is exceptional, and that the idea that it's just going to continue without our help is not true. We have to continually have eternal vigilance to protect these rights that we have, and it is really something for me. While this has been an extremely sad time, it's also seeing the outpouring and the appreciation for these rights. I think you're going to see we have now a different America that we've woken to from this tragedy. And I know that Charlie would be very proud of the people stepping up to re-energize these great, incredible American traditions of liberty for all Americans.
Okay, just one last question, Rob. What role do you think the media should play, and what do you think Charlie would have wanted at this moment?
Well, I mean, the reason I'm here is because the Epoch Times and NTD is a true source of news that has not been infiltrated or captured by whether it's the pharmaceutical industries or an ideology that is currently has been dominating the culture and dominating the news and our governmental agencies. So what we're seeing is not a revolution, we're seeing a counter-revolution against this woke or basically redressed communism in the form of redressed as tolerance, as manners, but it's really totalitarianism. So it's important that we continue to support and appreciate the very few outlets like Epoch Times, like NTD, that is going to bring you news. That's going to bring you news that does not have an agenda, but it's what happened. And then how you decide to interpret that is not coming through the lens of something that has a different agenda other than to inform and educate.
Okay, well, Rob, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you,
It's such
Don.
a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.